It's Tuesday, and here I am saying good morning to a whole new bevy of people in my chat. So let me scroll up and see who I'm saying good morning or good evening to this morning. Okay. Let's see, we have a Puffet and a Florence. Welcome. Pull up a chair, have your favorite brew, and I believe it's good afternoon for the Puffet. And good afternoon, or good morning, or good afternoon probably for Yin. So good afternoon there. Good morning to Neil. Good morning to MC. Good afternoon to Oliver Von Arks. Welcome. Pull up a chair and welcome to the Morning Brew. Morning for Magnus, wherever he may be. He is our truckin' motherfucker. Good afternoon to Mariel Bell. Good afternoon to Jason Todd. I'm being invaded by the UK this morning. Good morning, CT and Casual Callie. So, yep, I figured it was around 3:30 over there because it's 10:30 here. A lot of stuff has happened over the weekend, and Monday I went ahead and did a coffee talk when I was feeling better because Monday morning, the wonderful thing about the South is if you don't like the weather, wait a few and it'll change. Also, when you have bronchitis, the bad thing about living in the South in the U.S. is if you don't like the weather, it changes, and then your bronchitis bugs you for the rest of the day, or for a good part of it until you can get it back under control. That's what happened to me yesterday afternoon. But at least we were able to do a good show in the evening to tell everybody what was going on about the shutdown and all that entails, and what exactly shuts down during a government shutdown. There have been many of these during our history because mainly Congress and the president can never agree on a budget or certain issues in the budget in order to pass a budget for the next year. But the government can't run in its full capacity unless a budget is set for the year. Now, I am not surrendering my channel. Nope, never! I am a rebel. I am never going to surrender my channel. So, first tweet today. Good morning, Sir Wolfie. First tweet today. Pence, the influence of Iran in the region is dangerous. The last thing we want to see after driving ISIS out of Iraq and on the cusp of driving ISIS out of Syria is Iran and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard fill that vacuum. The U.S. and our allies are not going to let it happen. So they're talking about the Iran threat on Fox News, and that's what Pence is talking about on his Twitter this morning. So I figured I would let you guys know that. There's also a story featuring him, Israel, and Palestine in the second segment of the show. The CIA has a talk that if you want to take a part in it, all these links are always down below. Schedule for tomorrow, which is today, because this came out 14 hours ago. 11 to noon Eastern Standard Time, Intelligence Beyond 2018, a conversation with CIA Director Mike Pompeo. So if you guys are interested in seeing what they're up to, good morning, Numbskull. There's a tweet for you to check out, and the link in that tweet will take you to the page where you can see that conversation happening. Also, too, there is a little bit of... Whoops. I had the wrong one open. Ha. It's not me without at least one blooper in the morning, right? Let me get the right one there. There we go. Now I can do this. So this is actually, when you click the link and follow it, this is what you see. The event is only accessible to the general public through our live stream if you're a member of the media and wish to cover this event. So the United States carries into 2018 many of its pressing national security challenges of the previous year. The North Korean nuclear and missile programs now threaten not only the region but also the U.S. mainland. China, Russia, and other revisionist powers are working to shape global events and landscapes to conform to their interests and to the detriment of those of the United States. The terror threat from groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda remains potent throughout the world. In this global threat environment, America's intelligence community is working hard to ensure the homeland remains safe. 1 year into his tenure, CIA Director Mike Pompeo joins AEI's Mark Thiessen to discuss the Trump administration's response to these challenges and his vision for the agency's future. So there is a quick little blurb there. We are also paying homage, F's in the chat, to Naomi Parker, who was the inspiration for Rosie the Riveter, the lady on the poster during World War II that was empowering women to leave the kitchen and work in industrial sites in order to back the military and help in the World War II effort. Morning, Fuckwad. How are you doing this morning? So, yep, we have lost Rosie the Riveter, F's in the chat, to pay respects. All right, now, first highlighted artist is Lizzie. Her link is down below. She does commissions. This is how she breaks these commissions down. Exactly. Smash the like button if you like what you're seeing. I want to highlight more artists and more animators because, let's face it, they're getting buried during the algorithms both in Twitter and on YouTube, and we need to help our artists out as much as we possibly can. I saw this tweet this morning. Red Robot retweeted it. So this is the commissions here and what she charges for how much of a particular avatar you are looking for. So that is her art. Oh, fuck. What happened here? Okay, hang on. I have to make a quick adjustment. Okay, here we go. This should be better. Yep, here we go. Blink. And our own Finn's Chan also is open for commissions. She breaks it down into a little more succinct as far as her fees and stuff are concerned. Her link to her Twitter is also down below. She is a very talented artist. If you want to see more of her work, look at her Twitter feed for lots more samples. So we have one more artist, but we're going to highlight them in the video section this morning. If you wish to submit an artist that you feel needs to be highlighted, who needs to get their name out there, you can DM me either on Discord or on Twitter with their Twitter links or website links or screen caps of their artwork, as long as their artwork has prices for their commissions and if they are open to accepting commissions. My end goal for this is to have playing a slideshow as the music plays, waiting for everybody to get into the live chat of all the artists and their commissions and how much they charge. That is the end plan. So there we are. Now on to Alright, we're going to start out with the Alaska Quake. Has false tsunami warning, at least for Alaska. Kodiak Island was wakened to a 7.9 magnitude earthquake off its shores this morning. Oh, fake news. Here she goes with the edits again. The quake triggered a tsunami warning that had coastal residents looking for higher ground. After a few hours and a lack of tsunami-grade waves, the National Tsunami Center canceled the warning. As of yet, there are no damage reports coming out of Alaska. It hit around 12:30 a.m. Alaska time and was reported to be 170 miles southeast of Kodiak Island. The island itself is 200 miles west of the state's largest city, Anchorage. Morning, Jay Willie. As this is a breaking story, more information will be released as I get more details for that particular story. So, and we do have an update on there for this show this morning, because there was breaking news as I was finishing up. Alright. Pence says ball is in Palestine's court. In the wake of Trump's announcement to move U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem to honor a promise put off by other presidents, Pence was in Israel speaking with Prime Minister Netanyahu and paving the way for what could be a peace agreement between Palestine and Israel. But, of course, there's always a but. Pence says that it is up to Palestine. Trump's advisors have been outlining a plan for a while, but due to the president's announcement, Palestine has ruled out the U.S. as a peace broker. Trump and Pence both think moving the embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv will improve any aspects of making peace. The White House has been working with our partners in the region to see if we can develop a framework for peace, Pence was quoted by Reuters on the final leg of his 3-day Middle East trip. It just all depends now on when the Palestinians are going to come back to the table. In the weeks to come, the United States State Department and Pence will lay out the details in the coming weeks. So we're still going to be keeping an eye on that, as that is still a pretty volatile situation. Morning, Ghost Dog. No, but I think he was paying respects by donning the yarmulke and going to the Wailing Wall. So, no, Pence isn't Jewish. He is Christian, but I think he was paying, honoring them and respecting their particular belief system by donning the yarmulke and going to the Wailing Wall. And in the latest news of the government shutdown, in the wake of the Band-Aid vote to extend the deadline for the 2018 budget to February 8th, Schumer has been put in the hot seat. Some are claiming he caved, and others see him as keeping unity in his party in regards to DACA and the 700,000 illegal aliens who were brought here as children. Let me get over here. In order to reopen the government, he had to get McConnell to pledge to take up the negotiations for a bill regarding immigration, but there are some who think Schumer was foolish to do so without getting a firm promise from McConnell. DACA expires in mid-March. Morning, Batman. No, Zeus has not farted this morning, and he did not fart last night, so far gas-free. So there, yeah. Alright, now I'm going to scroll down here and back up here for the breaking news. Pull this back up. Where am I at? Yay, I'm pulling this back up. Alright. Nope, that's the cancer. There we go. 1 person dead, multiple wounded in Kentucky high school shooting. This was updated. This broke just before the show started. Out of Reuters, at least 1 person was killed and multiple others were wounded in a shooting at a high school in Marshall County, Kentucky on Tuesday. And the shooter was in custody, Governor Maddy-MWM and state police said in posts on Twitter. Kentucky State Police said on Twitter that more details would be available soon about the shooting at Marshall County High School in Benton in western Kentucky. School officials could not be immediately reached for details. So that is a developing story there out of Kentucky. And the last news is an update from the earthquake. 7.9 quake off Alaska sparks brief West Coast tsunami fears. Out of Anchorage, Reuters. He tweets out all kinds of stuff, Prophet. Tsunami alerts were lifted Tuesday for the U.S. West Coast and Western Canada after a magnitude 7.9 earthquake struck in the Gulf of Alaska, sending the state's coastal residents inland to seek shelter from possible tidal waves. It's a shooter run out of fried chicken. In Alaska, people packed into high schools and other evacuation centers after the quake hit shortly after midnight local time. Officials had warned residents as far south as San Francisco to be ready to evacuate coastal areas, but by 5:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the U.S. National Weather Service had lifted all tsunami advisories, watches, and warnings for California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. Canadian officials lifted one for coastal British Columbia. In Alaska, residents gathered in shelters on Kodiak Island, the closest land point to the Temblor, around 160 miles southeast of Chiniak, Alaska, at a depth of 25 kilometers. Considered shallow, but with broader damage, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. So we're going to keep an eye on that to see if there is anything else. There were no immediate reports of injuries or damage from the quake, which was initially measured at a magnitude of 8.2 instead of 7.9. People are fine, said Neil Hecht, assistant principal of Kodiak High School, which was sheltering a few hundred people. Spirits are high. Long lines of traffic formed in coastal communities honoring Homer, including Homer and Seward, Alaska, residents said on social media. In Homer, a few hundred cars were packed into its high school parking lot. Sean Beisel, 32-year-old park ranger, and his mother were in the lot a few hundred feet above sea level. It was really obvious, pretty strong, long quake, good rumbler, Beisel said in a phone interview. It went on for a solid minute, and after a while we thought we should get outside. Oh, after a while, huh? Police drove through Beisel's neighborhood with flashlights to alert residents to evacuate, Beisel said. San Francisco briefly warned residents within 3 blocks of the Pacific Ocean or 5 blocks of San Francisco Bay to prepare to evacuate. The Batman. In other news, Tess Holliday tripped and fell. Several people are believed killed in aftershocks. You're bad, Batman. You are bad. Oh, no. You're still stuck at that gas station? Oh, Wolfie. That warning was later lifted. Earthquakes of similar magnitude are not uncommon in Alaska, which is seismically active. The state has recorded 11 tremors with a magnitude of 7 or greater within 373 miles of Tuesday's quake over the past century, according to Zachary Reeves, the USGS seismologist in Golden, Colorado. The largest U.S. earthquake ever recorded was a magnitude 9.2 Temblor in Alaska in March 1964, causing tidal waves of more than 100 feet high that killed 131 people. So, that's the news that broke while I was getting the show together. Thank you, Ghost Dog. Here's some coffee money, dear woman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always appreciated. Always appreciated. Coffee is good. Coffee is wise. Alright, let me get to the next tab here. And we start. I get set up for the next. Now it goes off. Alright, here we go.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Hello and good afternoon, Tailed Feature. First person in our featured creators is Computing Forever, otherwise known as Dave Cullen, with the stunning and brave Women's March on 2018. He talks about how they just marched. No particular purpose, they were just there marching with pussy hats on their heads. And he compared it to the first Women's March. And apparently they're going to be doing these every year for no particular reason, because there's no reason for them to be marching, because we have all the rights already. But, you know, they're too dumb to realize that, I guess. Second highlighted creator is somebody that Yin Wolf recommended, so I went over to his channel. Florence Lupin is an artist with a YouTube channel. And as we need to back up our artists and our animators, this is his channel, which is also linked down below. He only has 53 subscribers. I saw some of his artwork on his Twitter, which is also linked to his channel. Please go check him out. He does some... I love the colors that he uses, the detail that he puts in his artwork. So, keep an eye on Florence Lupin. Let me see. The third one is, it's Alex Clark. I found this guy on complete accident. The title of this morning reality check. The title of this particular video is My iPhone 10 Ruined My Life. It is a hilarious animated 6.5 minute video that's gonna leave you... It made me giggle a lot. It was really funny to me. The whole channel is an animation channel. And due to the current algorithms, he's probably getting buried here and there, even though he has 2 million subscribers. So go over there, watch some of his content. You're not going to be disappointed. His animation is really, really good. And I like the little story shorts that he puts into his videos. And last but not least, Ranting Monkey. Netflix is racist and sexist. Monique wants more money. He's talking about how Monique, a black stand-up comedian, is complaining that Netflix offered her a markedless amount of money than, get a load of this now, Amy Schumer, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle. Morning, Tim. Will you hush? Yes, in other words, she's claiming racism and sexism because she's getting paid less than a woman and 2 black dudes. I'm going to let that sink in. But Ranting Monkey does highlight that, and he does point that out for people. So, let's see here. Now that we have gotten that one. Oh, shoot. That's a live stream announcements. I can't get him to shut up because somehow he has decided that he's going to be a pain in my butt. Let's see, let's do this. Bring this up. Now for the cancer from Cali. Dun, 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 dun. For those of you that are ready for your dose of cancer. Shush. Let me get this thing. Beep. Alright, yep, everyday feminism, because where else do you go for cancer, right? 4 self-care practices for when working as a woman of color has got you down. Yep. Oh boy, cancer. And then I have to read it dramatically, so let me clear my throat here. Self-care is the battle cry of our generation. It is a realization that, in order for us to be better activists, feminists, and friends, we take time out to check with ourselves, heal wounds, and feel loved. It is especially significant today as we socially, politically, and culturally exist in a war with the goal of dismantling the white, heteronormative patriarchy and achieve true human rights and equality. Self-care is a testament to the ability to understand, nourish, and identify with our complex, layered, and ever-evolving selves. It is a self-centering decision to acknowledge, address, and cater to our body's needs, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, and more. I'm not going to do it in Kim Jong-un. That Kim Jong-un is... Morning, Trolley! Okay. I've been intentionally practicing self-care for a few years now, first starting by cleaning and clearing my mind, evaluating friendships, and recognizing personality and relationship patterns. But more recently, I've been considering how to practice self-care in response to toxic or traumatizing experiences and environments. Have you read in my last articles? No, I haven't. Working as a black woman in predominantly white offices can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. While working on this series, I began thinking deeply about how women of color and marginalized identities can practice self-care when they find themselves in these environments. When I often feel alone, exhausted by microaggressions, or undervalued or frustrated at work, I developed a few self-care methods to cope. By a Cuban grandmother. Yeah, I know. He's learning his cues. Alright, now I'm going to change it to arriving early to enjoy breakfast and a cup of tea in the silence of the office. Like scheduling lunch or coffee dates with other people of color or employees I want to learn from. Going for walks or taking trips to the roof during my breaks. Planning trips, which gives me something to look forward to on long weekends or holidays. Ooh. Most significantly, I formed a group of close friends of different backgrounds and sexualities who gave me even more life. We held each other down, provided support, and offered billions of laughs. We validated each other when we endured daunting racist, sexist, ageist experiences at work and inspired one another to take on new projects or assert ourselves in our teams. Most of all, we made each other feel less alone. We were reflections of each other that affirmed one another's existence and importance. Alright, I'll switch back to the overdramatic British voice. I found that these remedies, especially my friends, guided me towards more productive outlooks and peace of mind, which coincidentally helped me refocus on what I was really passionate about, the work I was doing in the next chapters in my career. Practicing self-care at work or in response to issues at work can be the difference between feeling hopelessness and isolated or inspired and optimistic. It can help you refocus and realize what you value in your work experience and how to obtain it. While writing this, I realize that not everyone has access to these self-care solutions, and even less may have strong friend connections at work. So I wanted to explore more different types that people can take to care for themselves and make a difference in their communities. Here are 4 of them. Ghost Dog. I think she needs help from someone other than a moron, namely herself. Yeah. Reality check. We have too many new words designed to create a victim culture and a new segregation of people who are traditionally American minority, even though the majority is. Yeah, the majority seems to be shrinking. She needs a dominatrix to get her working harder. Wow, Poffit. This is a very America normative comment, reality check. Oh, buzzword soup. That's an amazing Valley Girl voice. Thank you, Florence. I am an 80s kid. I tend to admit that every now and again. Here we go. Number 1. Engage in passions and projects that reaffirm your greatness. Like cha. One of the best decisions I've made as a post-grad working girl is signing up for a writing class. As writing is what I do for a living, it can sometimes feel like a job and less like a passion. Writing classes, especially creative writing ones, allow me to exercise my imagination and strengthen my talents as a writer. The result, empowerment and freedom. Going to work. Oh, come on, dog. Knock it off. Going to work can be that much more daunting and depressing if you're not only experiencing microaggressions, but on top of that, aren't in love with your job. It's time to find another one if you're not in love with your job, dum-dum. For those whose work doesn't align with their passions, or whose job is for survival and not creative stimulation. Stimulation. Giggity. Participating in projects or activities outside of work can be instrumental to your emotional health and confidence. For this reason, one of the keys to self-care lies in impressing yourself, harvesting your talents and energies into something that's meaningful to you, and watching yourself excel. In other words, get a hobby. Right, got it. Sheesh, you could have shortened that a lot. It's especially important for women of color, the LGBTXYZ people with different abilities and more, to find creative outlets that empower them and strengthens their skills and confidence. It's one step to being better leaders and more expressive and assertive professionals. It's going after what you want and recognizing your power and potentials. Just sounds like that woman that wrote the bloody Twilight shite. Oh my gosh. I made an Oreo cream pie. Oh my god. I can't wait till I get into my new apartment because I will be cooking my ass off. Alright, here we go. Find a mentor or become one. One of my long-term goals is to find a mentor who can help guide me on my professional journey. Ideally, I love for her to be a black woman who works in media, who understands the challenges of having an intersectional identity in professional spaces, and who's learned to navigate these setbacks in exponential ways. Of course, I've had several mentors of different genders and backgrounds who've assisted me personally and professionally, but I imagine a bond with a black woman mentor would feel more personal and inspiring. Mentorship is a transformative force in marginalized communities. Having a role model who looks like you and has achieved something you aspire to makes your dreams feel more possible, tangible. If you're able, I also encourage you to become a mentor. Being a mentor to someone else is just as important as having one of your own. It is a small but significant way of giving back to your community and helping another person reach their potentials. Oh man. Hang in there, Wolfie. Hugs to you, Wolfie. If there was a way I could be there and pick you up and bring you home, I would. This is tight. I don't know if I could do a Dalek. Can you? Steve Shives' girl voice? I haven't listened to enough Steve Shives to figure that out. I have not figured that out yet. Let me see here. I see. Organize meetings to address workplace microaggressions. It's no secret that women and people of color can experience microaggressions at work, ranging from someone inappropriately touching your hair to a male coworker belittling or ignoring your ideas. The challenge, however, is addressing these issues in a healthy and productive way. Sometimes talking to your manager or privately confronting a coworker isn't enough. As a marginalized person, taking this action can feel like our jobs are a greater risk than the person who inflicted the microaggression. Oh my god, these people need to get over themselves. Shit, with the microaggressions already. A co-worker at my last job, a black woman, took initiative by organizing inclusivity workshops for the whole company to attend. To be sure, this is not an easy responsibility, but the payoff can lead to productive conversations and greater awareness of office issues. Meetings and workshops can also be safer alternatives to speaking to a superior or confronting an employee directly. It opens space for conversation without having to put yourself on the line. Read in the style of... I'm not in the mind of an annoyed Cuban woman. No more Valley Girl. If you decide to organize a meeting, it could be a great opportunity to discuss how to make company culture safer and more welcoming for marginalized people and strategize inclusive hiring methods. Get on the bed. 4. Start meetups for women of color. Self-care can mean building community or actively surrounding yourself with people who nurture your soul. This year, I co-founded a bi-monthly brunch series for my friends of color, where we share food and engage in conversations about self-care in our lives. It has been the highlight of my year. Not only do I feel a stronger sense of community with women of color in my city, I've also learned how to screw over the white population in the process. I've also gained a renewed sense of leadership, therapy, and event organizing. In other words, I'm so far up my ass I can't see daylight. I have a friend who engages in dinners for black women in media. She says that some of the highlights of these dinners is the shared community of expressing work and career-related frustrations, as well as the casual networking. Not only does she feel validated and comforted, she meets people she can possibly collaborate with in the future. Organizing a dinner, brunch, book club, or any other social gathering for your specific groups and identities is a great way to strengthen your bonds in those communities. Identities. Apparently they have many, many voices and they're all in their own heads. The suggestions above are meant to serve as methods to empower and excite you when you're down about work or try to eradicate office microaggressions that you may face. In other words, due to the lack of sex in your life, everything annoys the fuck out of you, so you need a safe space. This is when you need Hillsdale portable safe spaces for when you can't get home fast enough. However, they are in no way meant to entirely resolve any unhappiness, unfulfillment, or discriminations you may experience in response to your intersectional identity. Things can get really tough, and if they do, I hope you're able to consider finding a new job or going to the entrepreneurial route. Maybe you're meant to create or start something within your field. microaggressions and shit like that was created in academia to make people aware of ways problems still exist. No one ever expected the stupid students to run with them and turn them into issues. They turn everything into issues. Morning, Wikipedia. Morning, the Beardbarian. Panina! I have a Panina. Good morning, Panina. Yep, that was a dramatic reading. I've got to listen to different kinds of accents. That way I can do these things in different accents. I identify as a rusty tank. I identify as affluent. I know I'm rich, but I can't find the money anywhere, goddammit. As you can see, the lists are shorter. Our rhetorical entertainment is in the midst of buying a house and moving, so he cannot have regular morning scheduled rhetorical sunrises because he's got a lot on his plate. However, he's still doing his live streams on Saturday, so please check out for those. It is Tuesday, which is why Numbskulls isn't on there, but we do have the Kumite, Hellcats, Lords of the Night, and the night stream in the Minions of the Zoo after the Lords of the Night is over. If you know of anybody else that is doing a scheduled live stream, please DM me on Twitter with the day, date, and time, and also the link to the channel so I can include it in the listing. If you know of any artists that are taking commissions for artwork, please DM me the same way with their Twitter links and also samples of their work and how much they are charging, because we really need to help each other right now, because the algorithm keeps changing and trying to keep up with it is enough to make you cross-eyed and give you migraines, in my opinion, because this crap is just getting ridiculous at this point. Numbskull is always looking for guests for his show. Get a hold of him. Are your Twitter DMs open, Numbed? Just in case they're not on Discord. Let me see here. I'm going to host a live stream, but there's a Discord. There's my Discord if you guys want to hop in there and say good morning. Let's see. My video will finally be finished soon. Oh, good. Give me the link and I can tout it out. I think everything is open everywhere, I think. Okie dokie. Alright, cool. So yeah, Numbskull does a debate Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He does it in a game show format, which is rather interesting to watch. It's very entertaining as well. So if you're interested in having a lively debate early in the morning, well, early for some of us, please contact Numbskull and let him know when you're available to be on the show. You know, I asked him, but I never got a firm answer as to when these things are regularly scheduled for them, because I would love to shout out Ghastly's channel for their live streams, or dead streams rather, so everybody would know where to find them. So Wiki, if you could get that information for me, I would appreciate it. Alright, cool. So as always, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a totally terrific Tuesday. Take care, my coffee nuts.